All right, the countdown is on to Cygnus Day 2022 coming up in 3, 2, 1. Cygnus Day takes place Thursday, September, today's the 19th, so 20th, 21st, 22nd, 2022. It's going to be at the AC Hotel. Are you interested in alternative investments? Have you heard this term and don't really understand what it is? It sounds kind of cool. Alternative to what? Let's find out. We're going to talk about alternative investments and all about Cygnus Day tonight on this special program for Cygnus Day. And I'm joined by none other than the CEO. Let me get the titles right. President and CEO of Sygnus Group, Berisford Gray. And we also have CEO of Acrecent Financial, which is a Sygnus Group company based in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And that's James O'Connor. Hi, James. Hi, Barris.
Hi, Kalila. And good night to the listeners.
Welcome to the show. And let me just say that James is in Puerto Rico right now, and he's on a generator because you guys just got hit by a hurricane. Didn't even realize it was upgraded. So that was Fiona, right? So you may be experiencing a delay from James because he is operating solely on a generator right now. They lost power.
That's correct.
And yeah, so if you see James freeze up every now and again, that's the reason. We're just happy that he is able to join us on this program. And James will be flying into Jamaica. Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, James will be coming in to join us on Wednesday for the conference on
Thursday.
Yeah, so big shout out to James and our PR team. We are very happy that they are all doing well, and we wish Puerto Rico a speedy recovery from Hurricane Fiona.
Yes, so, and you can see the delay that we're having with James. We are having some technical challenges, but just bear that in mind. So when I ask him a question, I want you, the audience, to understand that I will be pausing to give him a little time to respond and to get, the information, since there is a delay on his side due to those technical constraints that we are experiencing. Well, let's start with you, Barris. Before we go into Cygnus Day, tell us a little bit about Cygnus, the company. What do you do?
Yeah, so Sygnus was founded 5 years ago and by a group of investment banker and, of course, a very successful businessman in Jamaica. And what we are really trying to do is to create a new channel of investment opportunity and financing opportunity in the financial landscape in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean, which we call alternative investment. So Sygnus currently provide our clients services through 3 business lines. Our alternative investment business, where we manage 3 alternative investment company, Sygnus Credit Investment, which is listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange and focuses on providing flexible debt capital to medium-sized companies across the Caribbean using a variety of credit structures. Our second alternative investment company is Sygnus Real Estate Finance, which is also listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange and seek to create value for our investors by providing either debt or equity capital to monetize real estate asset. And we are what you would call a value-added fund in the sense that Sygnus Real Estate normally invests in the debt or equity of projects, or we build our own projects, buy land or do joint ventures and build from the ground up. Quite a few persons listening tonight would be aware of some of our projects, such as One Belmont on Belmont Road, or our warehouse development and Spanish Town.
I see that making good progress going up, Barris. Every time I pass by Belmont Road and I see the construction, I'm like, yes, IPO money at work.
Absolutely. So investors should feel very proud to have invested in that in Sygnus Real Estate IPO because that's a game changer project. Our final alternative investment company is Sygnus Deneb, which is a private company and focuses on providing equity capital to medium-sized firms, again, across the region. And we basically try to pursue what you call a buyout strategy or a growth strategy. So we basically help private companies to access equity capital to propel their business forward. Our other two business lines, which complement our core business, is our investment banking business, where we do a number of bonds, IPO, mergers and acquisition, project finance, advisory, etc., for our clients, and then our wealth management business, where we manage portfolios. So, in a nutshell, Sygnus is the company that was founded 5 years ago to be exact, and with a very, very ambitious mission to really transform the regional landscape in terms of driving alternative investment and making it a bona fide channel through which firms can access customized capital, whether it's real estate, private equity, or private credit, as well as other form of alternative investments, to help to grow the economy, and on the other hand, to provide investors an alternative to enhance their portfolio return. 5 years ago, no one knew about alternative investment in the Caribbean,
So
and in
true.
Jamaica in particular.
You guys have made that a sexy term in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at this little video about what Sygnus does.
Sygnus is an alternative investment manager. And what that means is that we have different alternative funds: private credit, real estate, private equity. Sygnus Capital, which is a licensed broker-dealer, manages all of these funds on behalf of our investors, who are largely pension funds, high net worth individuals, and the ordinary citizen.
The culture will be one of innovation, which is part of what we call a 3 I's principle. And the 3 I's stands for independence, innovation, and integrity. And innovation in that 3 I's is a very important ingredient of what makes Sygnus, or the glue that holds Sygnus together.
What we want ultimately to be known for is that we drive the velocity of growth within the Caribbean region by applying innovative solutions, using an alternative investment platform.
Very simply, to be one of the pioneers and leader in the alternative investment space.
All right, good. Do we have James back? I think he's back with us. James, you there?
I hope so.
Oh, good, good. And without having that as much of a delay as well. So Barris has given us the background as to what Sygnus Group does, for those who are not as familiar with Sygnus. And tell me what you do there at Acrecent in Puerto Rico for Sygnus.
Well, we joined the Sygnus family earlier this year. Barris and I had met each other about a year and a half ago in an impact investment roundtable, and after that, we went out to market to find a like-minded investor to join forces. And Sygnus was at the top of the line, and we reached an agreement. And earlier this year, they acquired majority of Acrecent, a company that I co-founded about 19 years ago. Focused primarily in impact investing and providing credit to overlooked small and medium-sized businesses, mostly in Puerto Rico, but for a number of years, also with the platform that covered Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, and Dominican Republic.
All right. Well, let's come to the overall umbrella of alternative investments. Like I said, Barris, you guys at Sygnus have made the term popular and sexy. What is it? What is or what are alternative investments?
Very, very good question, Khalila. Alternative investment simply refer to a group of investment which are typically defined as being outside of the traditional scope. And by the traditional scope, what you are referring to is listed equities, for example, stocks which are listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, publicly traded bonds. Everyone normally know about government of Jamaica bonds, whether those are US dollar bonds or high, rated global bonds. That's in the debt capital markets, or other forms of credit such as the traditional commercial or corporate bank sector. Those are, generally speaking, your traditional investment and financing market. Alternatives, on the other hand, would represent solutions such as your private credit, that is non-bank financiers, and as Sygnus Credit Investment, Acrecent in Puerto Rico, we are non-bank financiers who provide very customized and much more flexible solutions, and in many instances complement the traditional market. Other forms of investments or asset or capital, so to speak, that exists in the alternative space would be your private equity. Again, this is non-listed equity, as Sygnus Daneb does, and other private equity investors that would take equity position in non-listed company. Normally, these assets or investments are illiquid, and they are of a very patient time horizon and work much closer as an investor in this instance than when you have public capital raised in the public market. So in a nutshell, non-traditional alternative investment is basically referring to highly customized, non-public, for the most part, form of investment, whether it's in credit, equity, real estate.
And we know that you have, your portfolio, it has all of these indeed. And so if you as an investor, viewers, are interested in these types of investments, alternative investments, then you definitely want to consider Sygnus and what they are going to be presenting on Thursday at Sygnus Day. By the way, Barris, alternative investments have grown tremendously over the past 15 years. Give me some background, some data on what's been going on in this space.
Now, well, let me say, globally, alternative investment has grown tremendously over the last 15 years. And, and it's really the 2008 great financial crisis actually propelled alternative investments, such as private credit. If my memory serves me right, the private credit market globally was roughly around 300 billion, if I remember, at the time, and would have propelled to just about a trillion or thereabout right now. Of course, with the US driving the market. I think globally, if I also remember some of my research, alternative investment in 2 years ago would have represented roughly 12% of the global investable assets, which is pretty large, several trillions of dollars. And it is forecasted to represent about 25% by 2025, 2026. So it's going to double in value. If persons are paying attention to alternatives, they would have noticed that in the global market during the crisis period, that's the last 2 years, alternative investment would have raised the tremendous, probably the most capital of all asset class, driven a lot by private equity and private credit. And the main reason for that is, again, speak to the flexibility, the creativity, the alignment that this type of capital bring to both investors who will invest in alternative to neutralize the volatility of the public market. Everyone knows that the stock market globally has been really volatile. Alternative investment provide that cushion against the volatility because it's not correlated with the market for the most part. And on the other hand, alternative investment will provide more flexible, more customized capital and take advantage of opportunities in downturn and help businesses, whether it's through credit or through equity or through real estate or through other forms of capital to sustain big shocks. So we have seen that globally. I think in the Jamaica and the regional context, I think we have seen tremendous growth as well. I mean, Sygnus did not exist 5 years ago, and now we manage just around 400 million in alternative assets for the most part. Other alternative players in the market, have emerged, in the ecosystem, Proven, Epley, First Rock, etc. So we have, and we love to see that, because what we are setting out to build is to be the leader and be the pioneer for an alternative market, where we have operations in Puerto Rico, in Jamaica, right across the region, that is providing a wide array of alternative capital for our investors and our clients.
That's pretty cool. So we have a really good question coming from LeVar. LeVar wants to know, being that it isn't public, meaning alternative investments, how do we now participate in alternative investments?
I will take this question, and James, you could comment. Well, alternative investment allow for participation in various formats. Many instances, if we don't raise capital publicly, like what we have done with Sygnus Credit Investment and Sygnus Real Estate, so you can actually participate in these public vehicles, right, which is Sygnus Credit Investment and Sygnus Real Estate Finance. We then do private placement, and you can participate privately by participating in these private placement, either of equity or debt financing. So there's avenue certainly through which investors can participate, and most investors participate through the private market.
All right. Well, let you tell us now about Sygnus Day, the big event that is coming up on Thursday. James, you'll be flying in for that event. What will be your role on Thursday?
Yeah, I'll be flying in Wednesday. I'll be there mid-afternoon. My role will be to participate in the impact investment fireside chat, along with a great group of impact-centric leaders from the U.S., from IDB, from BlackRock, and from Calvert Impact, which is one of our supporters, have been supporting us for many years. So we'll be having that fire chat and giving people a perspective of, a little known space. Most folks understand impact investing is about philanthropy or not-for-profit, and it is not. It's got the same mission in terms of creating social wealth and social equality, but it's about generating returns that are attractive on a risk-adjusted basis for investors. So that brings me back to the question about alternative investments. It's an area that hasn't been really well developed in the region across the Caribbean, and it's great to see Sygnus expanding the way it has, because it's about credibility. Alternative investments is about having credible investment managers who people can trust and put their money so they can deploy that capital throughout the region. I think Sygnus is right in a really good place right now. It's growing, and more importantly, it has the credibility, and that's only getting better from this point on.
Okay, Barris, next question is from Anna K, who wants to know, where's it going to be held, what time? So we're making this big ado about Sygnus Day because it is an exciting event coming up. But give us just the basic details. Where, when?
Yeah, so Sygnus Day will be a very exciting event. It's an event whereby we are going to seek to achieve three things. One, engage our stakeholders in the alternative space. Whether you're an investor, corporate, regulator, we want to engage you. And we want to also bring some further education to the market, what alternative investment is about, some of the things that we talk about. And then we want to expose you, as James said, to, international perspective on alternative investment, as well as some international and big trends, impact investing in the alternative investment space. As a consequence, we have gathered some of the, a team of very strong speaker with the Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, Minister of Finance and Public Service, being the keynote speaker, and then the international speaker such as Landell Robbins from BlackRock. BlackRock is the largest fund manager in the world, 8 trillion AUM. Persons that James mentioned from Calvert, one of our partners out of New York, James himself, etc. We will be having, of course, the physical participation at the AC Marriott on the 22nd of September, starting at 9. And, we have sent out, And then we also have the virtual participation where persons can log in, go to cygnus.com/Cygnus-day-2022, log in and join us online. And that's about it. So this is an all-day event, various speakers, everything from exploring private equity, private credit, real estate. Then we have discussion on portfolio diversification and enhancement for investors. Then we have case study where some of our clients are talking about how alternative investment actually help them. And of course, we have James and the international speakers, IDB, talking about impact investing and how do we actually choose the right areas in the region to invest capital in that will help to accelerate growth, especially in some areas where we are largely underserved.
Sorry. All right. So I was muted. I'm saying you do have a full day of events coming up for Thursday. Which part of the day are you most looking forward to, Barris?
No, I'm excited about all the areas, to be honest. I'm excited because I like to learn. I like to share thoughts. And, I'm probably, if you say, I'm very excited about the level of participation that our clients and partners and stakeholders will provide. I'm looking forward to some very insightful questions and people asking our panelists and speakers about different ideas around alternative. I'm just excited about client engagement, really.
Yes. And James, for you, what are you most looking forward to, apart from coming to Jamaica, of course?
Of course. No, what inspires me the most, what motivates me more, is really just about getting the message across that the Caribbean, it's a region of a multiplicity of communities that deserve greater allocation of capital. Capital flows are going around the world, being deployed throughout the world, in Asia and Africa, doing great things. And as large as that is, very little of that capital has flowed in at scale to the Caribbean. I think this is a great showcase that, again, I'll go back to, there is the credibility on the ground, the knowledge on the ground, and to be able to attract institutional investors, family offices, credit investors across the developed world to decide to make an allocation to credible, fund managers such as Sygnus and its entire team. I think that gets me excited, and then with that, making a huge difference for the communities we all serve.
All right. Tell me now, who is best suited to attend an event like this?
That's for me or James?
I think you can take it, Barris.
Okay. Now, an event like this is really for investors such as pension fund managers, and various firms, high net worth individual investors. That's the investor side, and of course, corporates. Whether you're a medium-sized firm, a large firm, government agencies, endowment funds. Those are the persons that should really participate in an event like this. Executives who are making decisions around capital allocation, investors who want to learn more about alternative investments and the opportunities that exist. So, I look forward to seeing a lot of participation, especially for investors who have invested in, the alternative funds of Sygnus Credit Investment, etc. So that they can really get a handle on what we are doing in alternatives and how they can actually enhance and drive value investing in alternative investment.
And as you mentioned, investors who have invested in Sygnus Credit, SCI, Sygnus Group in general, a lot of millennials are a part of that investor group. A lot of millennials are supporting your company and your stock, Barris and James. Why is it important for millennials to understand what alternative investments are?
Interesting you bring up millennials, because millennials, I recently read statistics that millennials will be inheriting about $30 trillion worth of dollars over the next few years, and they care about making a difference. So I'm not surprised you state that millennials are big supporters of Sygnus, because they're looking to put their money to work in ways that, not just provide a financial return, but provide measurable, social returns. And I think that's a huge thing. I'm really glad you bring it up, because it's essential that we that deploy money in the markets speak to that large group of people who do care and who ultimately, going back to who should attend, who ultimately are the decision makers in the next few years of deploying capital at scale.
Yes, well, I look forward to seeing you at the event on Thursday. Tell me how people can register and participate in Sygnus Day 2022.
Yeah, so I think to participate you can participate two ways. One, persons can go to our website and go to cygnus.com/Cygnus-day-2022, and you would then be taken to a site where you can register, and then you will be able to participate online. There are limited number of spaces at the AC Marriott, and we have sent out invitation, and persons are now registering. So they're going fast. We have so far, the registration online is also going very fast. So so far, we have like 3 days to go, and we are seeing significant support, both online and physical registration. So we are encouraging everyone to hurry up and get registered. There's no other conference, no other forum like this in the Caribbean. This is the first of its kind in the Caribbean, and the time is right. It's about now that the Caribbean start talking seriously about alternative investment. It's about now that the Caribbean engage the international market and bring international speakers to engage our investors and our corporates and government about alternative investments.
Anna K wants to know if there's a cost to register.
No, there's no cost to register. This is totally free. It's on Sygnus.
You're footing the bill for
Yeah.
our nice day at AC Hotel. Well, that's great. And I'm glad that you mentioned that you can also access virtually, because I thought it was only in person, but you can, if you are, unable to physically make it to the AC Hotel, register and access the live stream on the day of the event. So that's pretty awesome. Well, thank you so much.
We'd have to make it virtual, not because, we have offices in Jamaica and Puerto Rico, and of course, St. Lucia. We do business right around the Caribbean. So right now, people are registering from Puerto Rico, New York, the Dutch Caribbean, Bahamas, Cayman. Yeah, so we have no choice.
Great point. And if there's one thing that COVID has taught us, is that anything that you can do in person, you can do online and reach an even bigger audience than you may have originally anticipated. And of course, I will be there, guys. I will be there on Thursday. I'm going to be hosting one of the fireside chats in the afternoon, and I'm greatly looking forward to that. I see Terry Carell is on. Terry Carell says she's looking forward to it. She's going to be your event host for the entire day. So big up yourself, Terry. And Anna K is saying, okay, thanks. So that she was asking about the, the date and the cost and all those details. So we shall see you on Thursday. Thank you, Barris. Thank you, James. Wishing you all the best and reminding you, our viewers, that you can register for Sygnus Day. The link is in the description of this video. If you're watching on Facebook, the link is in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description. Just click the link and go to Sygnus's website to register for Sygnus Day coming up on Thursday to learn a whole lot more about alternative investments and what Sygnus is doing in the space. Thanks again, Barris. Thanks, James.
Thank you very much. And thanks to our viewers.
Audience.
And that's our show for today. I shall see you guys tomorrow for Taking Stock and later this week for our regularly scheduled programming. I'm Kalila Reynolds, of course. Let's get this alternative investments money.